it's on. Yeah. Had to take a swig of this. We gonna do it like this, y'all. The ground shit right here, baby. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. We gonna rock it right now. Yeah. Yeah. We gonna rock it right now. Yeah. Yeah. Fat lit eyes, baby. Full break bread. Hey yo. Yeah. What makes me the underground MC? Because I keep shit the way that it's supposed to be. While you out chasing fame and luxuries, I'm on tour overseas where they bumping me. Dig it, my nigga. Come on. I'm just a blast from the past. Trained in the ways on how to get cash and keep it. And that's the number one secret. And that's how you separate boys from the mirror. Peep how I stay real boys with the pen. Oh, here we go, spitting poison again in any direction. So you hear the midsection 84 heat weapon. Motherfuckers.
When the lights come on, yo, the sound of a photo. Heavy as a semi-auto, many of y'all know. Dave ain't come from no plane, that's a no-no. Straight face spitting on stage or on the corner for the love of me. Believe a nigga need to be deceased, so just because I freestyle don't mean I'ma do it for free.
No.
Bill collectors ain't trying to do it for me, so if you wanna hear the flow, a nigga gotta pay the fee. Shit, flow so cool, leave a motherfucking seasick. Not to mention I'm one of the other niggas you see.
Okay, let's talk about December 6th undercards. Okay, we got Victor Ortiz, the hot prospect, the guy that looks like he's the future at 140. Okay, he's going to be facing Jeffrey Risto, I believe that's his last name, and really. It's kind of really, it's just a match to really keep him busy and to really keep building up his confidence so that maybe later on in 2009 he steps it up with a contender that is more well-known and more rounded and would be a much bigger test. So I would have to say Victor Ortiz, and what he's been learning and really been sharpening up his skills, he should be able to get a stoppage over Jeffries, okay? Well, and also too, Jeffries has, in 2007 he was busy. 6 fights, 4 he won, on the street. He lost 2. One was to Spady. The other guy, I really don't even know a whole lot about him, but he did. So he should just be a good, test in rounds. Not really, I don't think a major threat, but should be able to just give, Vic Ortiz the rounds that he needs to keep pursuing his dream of becoming world champion. All right, now, the other star that's going to be on the undercard is obviously the spectacular Juan Manuel Lopez, who's going to be facing Sergio Rocky Medina. Okay, Rocky Medina, a good contender and all that. He's got, pretty good background and really is just really there also for the same reason for Victor Ortiz, is to be able to fill in those rounds and do what he needs to do and really just kind of take him out. And I would have to say within like 5, 6, 7 rounds, okay? I don't really see him lasting the distance with Juan Manuel Lopez, just because the fact that Juan Manuel is so sound, okay? If this guy had stock, I would purchase as much stock as I could, because I do see a future champion in this Puerto Rican star, okay? You can already say that he's going to give problems to the top 5 and possibly even stopping into the top 5. He is one of the rising stars, okay? So now, that already being said, let's pass on through this. We got a lot of cover. Vladimir Klitschko versus Hasim Rahman. Okay, they're due to the fight not this week but the following week. Let's give a prediction and see why. My opinion of who's going to win this particular bout. Well, first off, honestly, this fight here alone is for Hasim Rahman, just to give rounds also to Vladimir Klitschko to kind of finish off the 2008 and roll into 2009, just to keep him busy, keep him sharp, and really just keep him prepared and keep raking in the wins and stuff, and to keep his exposure out there on HBO and for the world to see. Now, Vladimir Klitschko, you gotta really give it to him. He's the most recognizable world champion to date right now, where you could say, okay, that's the heavyweight guy that we all need to look at. And that is the heavyweight guy that everybody's after. Okay, Hasim Rahman had an outing with James Toney, headbutt, he got disoriented, and then after it was stopped and was considered a draw, right? Or there was no contest. It was one of those anyways. But anyways, the point is this, okay? Hasim Rahman, in order for him to really get a victory over a very big 6'7", 6'8", 245 and up pound fighter, okay, and really he's got speed, he has good coordination, and his boxing skills are there, okay. This is not just a big man like Valu and just pounders around and throws shots out of nowhere. He throws shots down the pipe, okay? He's got a very sound jab. His jab is stiff. It's like a long pole, okay, which causes damage when he lands, okay? Not only that, he's got a steel hammer right that drops down and causes damage to his opponents too. So there's a lot of discouragements when you're facing Vladimir Klitschko, and I'm honestly going to have to see those discouragements for Hasim Rahman. Due to the fact that in order to defeat Klitschko, your legs are going to have to be in well condition, okay? Not just your upper body and your strength, but your legs are really what's going to have to carry you through this fight, and really your legs are what's going to have to carry you into a victory over Vladimir Klitschko, okay? Now, the roadmap in defeating Klitschko was already written from Corey Sanders to even Lamont Brewster, where you would say, oh, you have to go at him right away to get the win. The problem is, though, is that Klitschko has corrected that, meaning that in the beginning, this was a young gun coming in, and he would, give it all his all, for the first 5 rounds, and he would lose stamina and energy, and it would go to low, and then he was more vulnerable to getting knocked out. Okay, but now he's corrected that. Now he understands being such a massive man that energy level is not like a 122-pounder to 140-pound fighter. Okay, their energy level is spent a lot faster than the much smaller division men. So he's learned how to conserve that. He's learned how to use his shots and make them, count. Okay, under the tutelage under Emmanuel Stewart, he's learned there's certain ways of conserving your energy, which is jab, jab, hold, and wear down the much smaller guy, or just the guy on the other side in the other corner of the ring. Okay, so those things there are what he has corrected to keep himself preserved. Now, for Hasim, when I talk about having well-conditioned legs, meaning that he's got to do something in his career that he's never done before, which is dart in, dart out. Okay, bob and weave, get low with his legs, bob and weave like a Mike Tyson style. Okay, and that takes well-conditioned legs. Okay, that means your thighs have got to be well-conditioned, your calves got to be well-conditioned, and your ankles are got to be well-conditioned, along with your buttocks. Okay, because what you're going to be doing is using your lower body to, a lot more than what you normally use at another particular bout. You wouldn't have to use that against, say, James Toney, but unfortunately, you would have to use it against Vladimir Klitschko, because the fact is you would have to get low to really jab at his belly, to make him crouch down, okay, to bring that height down just a few inches back down here, so that you come down here, you come back up, okay? The other thing too is that if you do jab that belly and you come back with that right, you're going to have to pull out of there before he returns something to you, because he's so long. His arms are so long, He's got that reach. So you're going to have to be really on your toes. So that's what I mean. You're bobbing and you're weaving. You're trying to make them, you're trying to slip those jabs, and then boom, 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 boom. You're trying to come on top, and then you got to pull right back out. Okay? So those things there, I just can't see Hasim Rahman doing. All right? Honestly, what I see happening is 1 through 5, boring fight. Really, you're going to see Vladimir Klitschko do exactly, it's going to be a copy of what he's done to Tony Thompson, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Jab, 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 hold, and then finally, in the later round, start dropping his right. So you possibly see either Rahman retire in the ring on this corner, or just get stopped, and that's the end of that. And it moves on to Vladimir Klitschko moving into 2009 and looking for other bouts that are out there for him. Okay, now that already being said, that's my prediction. Now let's talk about Amir Khan fighting. I believe his name is Fagan. If I messed up his last name, I apologize. But Fagan, okay. I had the privilege of watching Amir Khan spar. I've had the privilege to speak in Amir Khan, had the privilege of speaking to his uncle, and really talking about what needed to be corrected, all right, in his game plan now. And I think he has gone to the understanding, along with his uncle, that, Amir was trying to be a puncher and it didn't work for him. He's got to go back into being a boxer and really using what had got him to the point where he was at, and where he got lost in the whole mix of being a puncher, and he ends up getting stopped, okay? So that being said is this, okay? December 6th, he also fights, back in the UK. He's not going to have Freddie Roach there due to contracts, as Freddie's going to be, with Manny Pacquiao. But what does Amir got to do? Well, Amir's got to box, plain and simple, okay? Amir can get a knockout with his speed and his boxing skills, and I've seen him do some stuff in the ring, in the sparring session and stuff that I hadn't seen him do before. So some little adjustments that Roach has been able to show him, hopefully he'll be able to use it, and you'll be able to see it on December 6th. Okay, so the thing is that he can get a knockout with Fagan, whatever his name is, if he boxes. If he doesn't look for the knockout, okay, which means he lets it gradually just come to him rather than pressing for it. Because remember, with Prescott, that's what got him in trouble. He pressed for a knockout, which meant he started to go toe-to-toe with the guy, squared up, hands down, got clipped, got dropped, end of story. With this particular bout, in order for a comeback bout, he's just got to look for getting in all the rounds that he can and even trying to make it go all the way to the distance. And if a stoppage comes along, great for him, good for him. Even if he wins on unanimous decision or even knocks out the guy, you know what? You're still going to have fans questioning his chin because it's only one comeback, okay? So he's got a long, long, long road.